which they bought together back in May of 2023 for $60.8 million, has been quietly placed on the market.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are clearly in a rough patch in their marriage of, less than 2 years at this point.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Because we know they are living in separate households right now.
I got back together, it was just like, I want to make music again. I want to get back in the studio. I was very, very inspired. And when I think about, I was like, the same way This Is Me then captured that moment in time without me realizing it.
In a surprising turn of events, two unexpected partners have teamed up to share secrets that could rock the entertainment world. Hollywood star Ben Affleck and the outspoken R&B singer Jaguar Wright are joining forces, and their focus? None other than Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs. What could bring these two together against such big names in music and film? What truths are about to come to light? Stay tuned as we dive into this explosive story that's capturing attention worldwide. But of course, before I spill anything, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this.
You really heard that? Nah. What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and it was sitting on the other side of the room.
Parties with celebrities and underage girls, with drinks being spiked, with drugs. This goes all the way back to the murder of Tupac and Biggie.
Before we dive into the divorce drama, let's take a step back. Jennifer's story started in 2001 when they began dating, and by 2002, Ben had proposed with a massive pink diamond ring. But just before their wedding in 2004, they called it off and went their separate ways. Fast forward nearly 20 years to 2021, when they were spotted on a sweet date in the Hamptons. By summer of 2022, they were married. However, if you've been keeping up, you might have noticed that they haven't been seen together publicly since late March during an outing in New York.
Asking me to look at my engagement ring at the time that Ben had given me years ago. And lots of kind of just, so that's a pink diamond. And, and I was like, yes, it is.
Jennifer sparked a lot of buzz when she liked an Instagram post about healthy relationships, hinting that things might not be going well. The post said, you can't build a relationship with someone who is disconnected from themselves. To add fuel to the fire, she attended the Met Gala alone, explaining that Ben was busy filming The Accountant too. But let's be honest, it's clear there's trouble in paradise. Or maybe even more than just trouble, since we're talking about a possible divorce here.
Well, this should come as no surprise. Jennifer Lopez has officially filed a divorce from Ben Affleck. Bennifer is over. TMZ writes this: it's interesting how Jennifer Lopez filed her divorce. They said she filed Tuesday in LA County Superior Court, but she didn't file it via her attorney. She filed it by herself. He lists the date of separation April 26th of this year. The couple got married, as you know, back in July 16th of 2022. So they've only been married about 2 years.
Before these recent reports, there were already signs that things weren't going so well. Remember that viral video where Ben looked really stressed and unhappy during a coffee run in LA? He even slammed a car door after helping Jennifer into the passenger seat. Then there was that footage of them seemingly having a big argument in the car at some traffic lights in Beverly Hills. Ben was pointing and Jen was staring out the window. Definitely not a calm scene. And at last year's Grammy Awards, Jennifer seemed to snap at Ben during a tense moment, though they tried to brush it off.
TMZ points out that today is a significant day because this marks the second anniversary of the huge and more traditional wedding ceremony that they held in Georgia.
So here's the latest. Reports are saying that Jennifer and Ben aren't exactly on the same page in their marriage anymore. A source told Us Weekly, Ben and Jen are having issues in their marriage. They started having problems a few months ago when Jen began ramping up her work commitments and prepping for her tour. And according to TMZ, Ben has even moved out. Their source spilled, we're told, he left a house that he's been seen coming from and going to, and where we're told he's been spending the night as well.
The tabloids are all over it. He's been out of the house. They haven't seen the two of them in public in 47 days. And so people are buzzing. That's all I have to say. Next.
With all the divorce rumors swirling, fans are sharing their own ideas about why the marriage might have fallen apart. It's no surprise that many think Ben got tired of J-Lo always seeking attention and putting their love on display. It's not hard to believe, especially since Ben has mentioned he'd rather keep their marriage private and off social media. Here's the backstory. Jen and Ben broke up in 2003, only to reunite nearly 20 years later. Back then, Ben said that all the public attention put a lot of strain on their relationship. But when they got back together, he realized he had to adapt for this new chapter. In Jennifer's 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, Ben said, "When we got back together, I told her, I'm not really into sharing our relationship on social media. But then I realized it's not fair to ask that. It's like marrying a boat captain and saying, I don't like the water. We're just two people with different ways of doing things, trying to find a middle ground."
I love that you want to play younger even in the autobiography.
This is not my autobiographical, this is meta. This is me using some of my story.
Semi-autobiographical. It's your story, but younger.
Well, she still got her beauty, her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him. Bobby, this isn't about me and you. Bobby, take that out.
No, this is what...
That is not part of the script.
It seems like Ben never fully got comfortable with his love life being so public, and that really strained their marriage. In the documentary, there's even a moment where Ben looks uneasy about J-Lo sharing their old love letters with her friends and co-workers. On top of that, it's said that J-Lo pushed Ben to maintain a certain image, to the point where he got upset because people started criticizing him for getting fillers and Botox, something Jen reportedly encouraged. Rumor has it J-Lo convinced him that everyone in Hollywood tweaks their appearance a bit, even his close friends like Matt Damon. But it looks like there's more going on behind the scenes. According to J-Lo's ex-husband Ben Affleck, her escape might be linked to some shady connections with Diddy's questionable activities. The twist? Right after the raids at Diddy's house, Ben quickly filed for divorce, and he's got some serious evidence. So what exactly did Ben uncover? And was J-Lo really involved in Diddy's alleged parties and human exploitation operations? We're about to dig into all of this, so get ready for a wild ride. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez began their relationship in 1999, dating for 2 years before parting ways in 2001. In a 2003 interview with Vibe, Lopez revealed that Diddy's infidelity was the reason for the breakup. You might recall their iconic appearance at the 2000 Grammy Awards, where Lopez stunned the world in her famous green Versace dress. Reflecting on that moment in 2017, Diddy told Entertainment Tonight, "I thought it was really going to change the game for her, and fashion. I didn't know how big it was going to be, but it was a great moment for her." Diddy also mentioned that Lopez was, without a doubt, one of his greatest loves. Despite their breakup, the two remained on good terms, reuniting at a party in 2018 and in 2021. Diddy even posted a throwback picture of the two showing that the bond they once shared was still significant to him. What makes this story even more interesting is that when Diddy posted that throwback photo with J-Lo, she was actually rekindling her romance with Ben Affleck. The timing seemed almost too perfect, sparking rumors and raising eyebrows everywhere.
Do you want to know when Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's marriage troubles began? On their honeymoon. Let me break it down for you. A report just came out in page 6. Translation: somebody very close to Jennifer Lopez in her camp is speaking out, getting out her side of the events.
The photo with the caption, #TBT, didn't come with any explanation, but its timing was far from coincidental, coming right as J-Lo and Ben were starting to spend time together again. Naturally, the internet went wild with speculation. Was Diddy trying to stir up drama, or was it just a trip down memory lane? Diddy quickly shut down the rumors in an interview with Vanity Fair, saying, "There was no trolling involved. That's just my friend." He insisted that he had no intention of commenting on J-Lo's relationship or her life, but the damage was already done. People started wondering if there was more to the story. Adding more complexity to this tangled situation is the fact that before Diddy's relationship with J-Lo, he had 2 significant relationships with other women. Both were marked by troubling mistreatment, both emotional and physical. These women who were deeply involved with Diddy saw a darker side of him long before J-Lo came into the picture.
J-Lo releases her first album on the 6th, and then they debut as a couple. They're both from New York. She's from the Bronx. He's from Harlem. People can't get enough of them. They are quite literally the it couple. They're doing red carpets together. They're at fashion shows. They're throwing parties. They're always dressed to impress.
One of these women is Misa Hilton, who dated Diddy in the early 1990s and has a son with him, Justin Combs, born in 1993. Although their relationship might have seemed glamorous from the outside, it wasn't smooth. Hilton has been open about her experiences and the impact Diddy had on her life. When footage of Diddy mistreating Cassie surfaced, Hilton spoke out. She took to Instagram to share her heartbreak, writing, "I am heartbroken that Cassie has to relive the horror of her mistreatment, and my heart goes out to her. I know exactly how she feels, and it has triggered my own trauma." Her words highlighted not only the pain Cassie went through, but also the lasting scars Diddy left on those who were once close to him. Hilton's post didn't end there. She also shared photos of Diddy's 5 children, pointing out the impact his behavior had on his family. These young people were raised by women who want the best for them. We put God and education first and have always worked together to support their dreams, she wrote. Her words showed strength and resilience of the women who stepped up to support Diddy's children. She also highlighted the tough reality faced by 2 of Diddy's youngest children who lost their mother, Kim Porter, and now depends on others for support. Kim Porter's story is especially tragic, as it's well known that she experienced similar mistreatment to Cassie. Diddy's aggressive behavior towards Kim is public knowledge. One shocking incident even left her with a broken nose.
It was me, him, and Kim in the hospital when he was bleeding like crazy. And that was the beginning of him. And that's the first thing I knew about people getting hooked on opioids.
Reports say this incident happened during an argument on Diddy's yacht in Saint-Tropez. Diddy was so worried about the aftermath that he flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva to fix Kim's nose. Despite the seriousness of the injury, Porter later downplayed it, saying she hurt her face by accidentally banging her nose on a table. However, many were skeptical of this explanation. Adding more depth to the story, Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has shed light on the behind-the-scenes drama between Diddy and Kim. Deal, who witnessed a lot of the turmoil, revealed that their conflicts were much more intense than what the public knew.
When they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrists up.
It seems that Diddy's mistreatment might have played a part in Kim Porter's untimely demise. Officially, Kim passed away peacefully from pneumonia, but there are unsettling details that make her passing seem suspicious. For instance, blood was reportedly found on her pillowcases, and there was a trail of blood leading from her bedroom to the bathroom. This doesn't fit with the idea of peaceful demise and raises serious questions about what really happened that night. Adding to the mystery, there were reports that Kim's 911 call for help was ignored. Kim Porter made her last call to 911 at 2:43 a.m., but her body wasn't found until around 11 a.m. the same morning, according to Kimora Lee Simmons. The delay in finding her body, along with the blood evidence, has led many to speculate that something much more sinister might have happened.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
With the recent developments in Diddy's situation, there's new interest in Kim Porter's case, and it looks like it might be reopened. For example, Diddy's former security guard, Roger Bonds, has pointed out that whatever Cassie went through, Kim experienced too. He even said he stepped in during incidents with Kim, just like he did with Cassie. Roger reacted to Diddy's apology video by saying, "I guess you were sorry and at rock bottom for years, because you were hurting not just her, but Kim and others too." In a follow-up post, he criticized Diddy's apology for not mentioning people like Kim Porter and Cassie by name. He said, "Tell him to mention everyone, including Kim Porter. I got in between them. I was manipulated too. Maybe not physically, but emotionally, in ways you people who don't know this man will never understand." Cassie's lawsuit claims that Roger Bonds tried to intervene several times, including an attempt to stop Diddy from stomping on her face. So if he says he also tried to help with Kim, it's likely true.
But then I wake up to so many DMs and this, that, and the other. And like I said, Cassie never got in touch with me. And it says what's in the lawsuit. And I said, by him telling me that he needs my help, I put 2 and 2 together that he was going to try to go to trial with this.
That was the worst part, and all I could think about was Kim and Misa.
The girls. just her son. He left their son to be walked out backwards on camera for the world to see.
Anyway, Diddy probably didn't expect Kim's book to come out. He better have those apology videos ready because there's even speculation that he might have been involved in her passing. We previously learned that Kim's family was considering legal action and planning to sue Diddy for her wrongful demise, claiming they have physical evidence to back up their case. Plus, Diddy is said to have kept the twins from staying in touch with their family in Georgia, isolating them from any communication. It's almost like the family doesn't exist, all because he doesn't want the twins to find out what really happened to their mother. Well, they might find out now because allegedly the feds have gotten hold of the book Kim was planning to release about Diddy. In 2023, the book was almost published, but one contributor revealed, "Just wanted to let you know that Sean has put the clamps on Kim Porter's book from making it to the shelves." Diddy pressured everyone involved in the book's production and even sent a court order to stop its release. However, with his influence fading, nothing will stop the details from coming out. If the person with the footage of Diddy and Cassie at the hotel in 2016 thought it was safe to release the video now, what's going to stop the person with Kim's book from doing the same?
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch.
And there's more. This story isn't just about J-Lo's alleged link to Diddy's controversial activities. It also goes back to a dramatic event from 20 years ago that's coming up with new intensity. Natana Rubin, who was injured in a nightclub shooting in 1999, is now taking extreme steps to prove that Diddy and J-Lo were behind her injuries. Rubin was at Club New York in Manhattan when gunfire erupted, injuring 3 people, including herself. She was hit in the face by a bullet, and now she's making a bold and risky offer to help with the case. In a recent interview with News Nation, Rubin said she's willing to have doctors remove the bullet fragment still in her face to use as evidence against Diddy. "If I didn't suffer, I'm willing to have a doctor remove part of the 9mm bullet in my face so it can be used as evidence for this trial, even if it might cost me my life," she revealed. Rubin's dramatic offer shows just how serious this case is and adds a sense of urgency to the ongoing investigation. Her willingness to go to such lengths for evidence highlights her strong desire for justice and the fact that this case, which has been waiting for answers for decades, is still unresolved. The notorious shooting that night began with a heated argument involving Diddy, then known as Puffy, his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, his bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow. Things quickly got out of hand, leading to gunfire and chaos, which resulted in the arrest of all 4 individuals. Charges against Lopez were dropped almost immediately, long before the case went to court. She cooperated with the investigation and has always denied any involvement in the shooting. Diddy and his bodyguard were acquitted of all charges after a 2001 trial. However, Shine, who was just 21 at the time, was convicted of maltreatment and illegal firearm possession and received a 10-year prison sentence. Now, over 20 years later, the case has come back into the spotlight thanks to a new lawsuit filed by Rodney Little Rod Jones in February. In his lawsuit, Jones accuses Diddy of making unwanted advances and forcing him into situations with illegal intimate workers at Diddy's request. Jones also claims that Diddy lied about his role in the 1999 nightclub shooting, alleging that Diddy bragged about bribing witnesses and jurors during his 2001 trial. Court documents even suggest that Jennifer Lopez, Diddy's then-girlfriend, smuggled the gun into the club and gave it to Diddy during the incident. Natana Rubin, who has been deeply affected by the shooting, hopes this new legal action will finally bring justice and hold Diddy and others accountable. Rubin recalled her struggles, saying, "When I was fighting for my life on the operating table at St. Vincent's Hospital with doctors trying to remove the bullet from my lungs, they had already detained Miss Lopez, only to release her and drop her charges within an hour. It's absolutely ridiculous." Even after all these years, Rubin is grateful to be alive, calling herself a living miracle. However, the trauma from that night still haunts her, and she remains determined to find justice. Diddy, on the other hand, strongly denies all allegations. His lawyers have labeled the lawsuits as baseless and sickening, arguing that they are merely attempts to extort money.
Sean and I were very different that way. I was very family oriented and kind of the married type. I was actually, when we first worked together on the video, I was married, even though I was going through problems. Nobody knew that, you know what I mean? And I wanted my family, and even though at that time it was not going well, you know what I mean? That was who I was. That's how I was raised.
Have you seen how things have been going for J-Lo lately? Besides the drama with Diddy, she's been grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons. Her projects aren't performing well, and then there was a fiasco with the Bronx Orange drink. Plus, people noticed a strange incident with her chewing gum and her assistant in New York City. Fans are also criticizing how she treats her staff, noting that many former employees have shared similar negative experiences. J-Lo also facing backlash for borrowing from black culture without giving credit to the black artists who helped her shape her music. She called herself Negrita, acknowledging her African roots, but some say her vocals don't do justice to her background. Fans argue that her Bronx identity is a big part of who she is, and if she carries this attitude into her marriage, it was bound to face challenges. Reports suggest that Jen and Ben aren't ready to give up on their marriage just yet and are considering working things out. Ben is open to therapy even though he finds it a bit awkward. He's willing to try it with an open mind, but isn't expecting it to be a quick fix. He's more than ready to face conflicts and fight for what he wants in the relationship. Someone who's known Ben for over a decade says that everything feels like a struggle for him and Jen. They believe that Ben only feels truly satisfied when he overcomes tough challenges. Since they got back together, Ben and Jennifer seem to clash a lot, but there's also a lot of passion and respect between them. You have to wonder, though, why their marriage has to be so much hard work. Isn't there an easier way? But what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts below. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.